In this series of videos, we're going to be looking at how we can apply systems of equations to different scenarios. So these are going to be word problems, but we like to think of them as applications because they are examples of where this might be useful. So for this first example, this is determining on whether or not you should join with a membership to a movie rental program or if you should just rent the movies as you watch them. So it says the movie rental store CineStar offers customers two choices. Customers can pay a yearly membership of $45 and then rent each movie for $2, or they can choose not to pay the membership fee and rent each movie for $3.50. How many movies would you have to rent before the membership becomes the cheaper option? So this is definitely something you might want to think about in the real world of, is the membership worth it? At what point is having the membership actually saving you money versus paying extra money? And we do that by solving a system. So here we're going to be able to create two linear equations from this information. We have the membership, or we just have the renting. So I'm just going to call that rent. And so there's two different ways that we can do that. So also throughout this, we're going to think about our kind of variables here. One of the things that we're talking about is actually like the cost. So maybe you want to use C to equal cost. And then the cost is having to do to both the membership, but then also every movie that you rent. So I'm going to use M for movie. So I'm defining my variables here. Some people like to use Y and X, but I often find that a little confusing in the context of a problem because I'm not always sure which one is which. So I would like to use variables that actually have to deal with the problem itself. So now I can go ahead and set up my formula. So if I am doing the membership, then my cost, what I'm paying the company, is going to be, it says $2 per movie. So every movie costs me $2, and then I have my original $45 membership fee. Versus if I'm just renting, then I don't have a membership fee, but I'm paying more per movie. I'm paying $3.50 per movie. So I do like to often think about this of like, what does this actually look like on a graph? So for the membership one, I'm starting at this $45, but my slope is only going to be 2. So maybe it looks like this. Versus for the renting, I don't have that membership fee, but I have a steeper slope. I have a slope of 3.5. And so what we're actually trying to find is this point here. What is the magic number of movies to where the membership is actually beneath the just renting? So whenever you're given one of these problems that's saying like, how many movies might you have to rent? Or, when does one option become the better option? What we're looking for is what I like to call the breaking point. And we do that by looking at this point of intersection. And we know that the point of intersection is just the solution to the system. So all we have to do is go about solving this system here. So this is all of the setup for the actual application, and we can just solve the system. Because each of these is already set equal to C, all we have to do is substitute in C for C. So I'm going to plug this in here. Some people would call that setting them equal to each other, which also works, but it's just that idea of substitution. So instead of writing C, I'm going to write 3.5 M, and then that's equal to 2M plus 45. So now I can go about solving this. I'm going to subtract 2M from both sides. That gives me 1.5 M equals 45. Divide by that 1.5, and I find out that it's 30. So in order for this to be a better deal, in order to get the membership, I need to be renting 30 movies. Now I'm going to go back up here and think about, was that a monthly membership or a yearly membership? And I see that's a yearly membership. So I have to rent at least 30 movies in the year, and then the membership's a better deal. So often it is always good practice to write a nice sentence with an application problem. So this might be as such: after 30 movies, the membership option is the cheaper, or the membership is the cheaper option. I think I said those in a slightly different order. But here you have it. So reading the problem, setting up my two equations based off of it, choosing variables that make sense in the context, and then solving it. This part was extra, the graph over here, but often the graph might kind of help you see what you're doing.